Camera tech. If you would have told me a decade ago, I really am an unk now. If you were to tell me a decade ago we'd have access to these advancements and tools at our disposal to help aspiring amateur and novice filmmakers, I really wouldn't have believed you. Now, the first camera I ever owned was the Rebel T3i, and it was a huge milestone because it marked a change of focus, allowing aspiring filmmakers the opportunity to own a DSLR at an affordable price. And during the time, other competitors like Panasonic, Sony, JVC, they were solely focused on the professional market. Those cameras were out of reach and they cost way too much money for an average person to afford. Now, Canon saw the opportunity to monopolize this market and they were the most popular at the time. Now, everything wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. You don't know how good you have it because Canon had me feeling like I was a hacker. I had to put firmware called Magic Lantern onto my Canon camera, which by the way voided the warranty, in order to gain access to higher resolution, slow motion, and even camera monitoring tools. Now, why would Canon do this? Because they had tiers of cameras. If you wanted slow motion or higher resolution, they told you, well, you just had to buy a more expensive camera. Over the course of the 3 years following, from 2012 to 2015, this is when we see all the other camera companies start to catch up to Canon. They started to push each other and become really competitive. It meant that we were getting higher quality products, better sensors, all at an affordable price, and it was pretty crazy. Like, I then went from having this Rebel T3i to a Sony a7S Mark II, and this camera was literally like having night vision. And coming from the Rebel T3i, which after sunset, you basically baked noise into your footage and it was unusable. It was like night and day, quite literally. Every time I picked it up, it felt like David Attenborough was narrating everything I filmed. This camera went with me all over the world and it helped to create something that I was passionate about into a full-time career. Now, I consider this the golden age of camera tech. We were also gaining access to tools that were really helping to advance and push the field, like drones, gimbals, and even lighting, all at an affordable price. In comparison, these days, I don't think there's many advancements that are happening, and I think we've hit a plateau, entering an age of consumerism when it comes to camera tech. Now, I can't be the only one who notices when the new piece of camera equipment is released, it's all over your social media. You got 15 videos in your sub box all dropping within the same hour about the same piece of equipment, and you might be wondering, why is that? Well, it's something called the embargo. When a camera tech company, or any tech company for that matter, is ready to release their product, there's a specific date that they allow bloggers, reviewers, creators, and press to post about their product. And you might be quick to watch the video or read the blog post and say,
"What is that, bro?"
But what you might not know is that a lot of the times, the product is only given to the person to review 1 week before it's released to the public. And how much can a person really know about a product within a week? And this is not for me to bash other creators who are working with companies and doing reviews. I mean, the truth is, the game is the game. The first person to post the video or make the article means that there's a higher chance that they'll get the most buzz from it.
Get your money up, not your funny up.
I really truly believe the responsibility lies on the creator of the product and these companies. I think it makes a lot more sense to be giving your product to someone to review for a month. Does this play in their favor? No. If you have 1 month to review something, chances are you're gonna find flaws in the product. You're gonna be able to form your own opinion about it, and that's not what they want. They don't want you to think for yourself. They don't want people to be thinking too much about it. They want buzz.
That you
genuinely think something needs to change about that, and I'm not on some high horse talking about this, but I know this because I'm speaking from experience. A couple of years back, I reviewed a gimbal which was given to me 1 week before, and I regret making the video. The video is not even up anymore because looking back, the product wasn't good. And I told people that it was something that I use, and I don't even use it now. Now, as a consumer, my best advice for you is when you see a video or an article about some new tech that you're interested in, before you say, "I need it," I challenge you, take your credit card, lock it in a safe, dig a hole in your backyard and cover it. Now wait 3 months, reach out to these people who make the articles or the creators, DM them and ask them, what gimbal do you use now? And if it's not the same gimbal that they reviewed, and mentioned in their video, then you really do not need it. The first few gimbals that came out were really revolutionary. They did what it was supposed to. Stabilize your footage, pan, tilt, or lock it off like your camera is the head of a chicken. The truth is, what more do you add to that? Other than making it lightweight and being able to break it down to put it in your bag, what else do you need to add to a gimbal? This is when I started to see all of these gimbal companies create products that just have a bunch of things you just do not need. Why do we need a light on a gimbal? Why do we need a handrest on the gimbal? It just does not make sense. Just to create more products. Now this segment is called JR's Top Camera Tech Specs. And the list is two things, okay? Number one, 4K resolution. And number two, 10-bit color. What are we gaining from more resolution? Like a lot of the videos and stuff that you're watching is online, it's compressed, even the photos, and we don't have access to Wi-Fi networks that are able to even watch videos at 8K, 16K resolution. People are not doing it. Yes, if you are someone who shoots weddings, sports, you might want great autofocus, AI tracking autofocus, and for sure, people who make high budget commercial shoots, they're gonna want a camera like the Ari Alexa, but a lot of them end up just renting the camera for their specific job unless they work for a production company and it makes sense to buy that camera outright. If they have a smaller production shoot, 9 times out of 10 they're going to be using something like an FX3 or FX6, because the truth is, who's going to be lugging around a camera that costs someone's salary for 3 years? And that's truly why I'm an advocate that gear really doesn't matter now. I know in the past it was kind of like a meme to say that. The fact that we have phones that shoot 4K 10-bit, what else do you need? And no one's gonna tell me that someone who films something and documents something on an iPhone is not a documentary filmmaker, or someone who makes a film on a phone is not. Because that's just not the case, because the content is really what matters. Someone like J Films, who literally skateboarded across America and documented every single day of the journey, showing the people the generosity, the struggles he went through. You're not going to tell me that he's not a documentary filmmaker, because the truth is he is. There's still things that are around like gatekeeping in the industry. And the biggest one for me is the A7S Mark III and the FX3. Internally, both the cameras are the same. The FX3 is labeled a cinema camera and it's on Netflix approved list, right? But the A7S Mark III is not. Do you know how funny a conversation like that would be at Netflix? Like, really just think about that. Hi, is this a bad time?
What do you want? Can't you see I'm busy here?
I'm here to talk to you about my documentary that we just wrapped post-production on. It's following a penguin in the north who travels to the tropics to surf waves, and he finds his true purpose.
Sounds incredible. What's the shot on?
The A7S Mark III, actually.
We don't want it.
But you just said it sounds...
It's not on the list of the approved cameras. No can do.
With all due respect, the FX3 is on the list and it has the same internals. Plus, the FX3 doesn't even have built-in ND filters. What makes it says cinema on the front of it?
And it's gray.
But it doesn't have a flip-out screen.
Take your flip-out screen and flip out of here.
Once left on camera really truly is the black magic
4K.
The camera had 4K and 10-bit color. It cost around $1,000, which in perspective was what I paid for the Rebel T3i in 2012. Most of the cameras coming out on the market right now are pretty comparable when it comes to the specs. So when someone asks me what camera they should buy, I think the best thing to look at is whether or not a company is having quality of life updates and firmware updates, and whether or not they have good customer service. Are they listening to consumers and creating products that are actually advancing and revolutionizing the field? Or are they just shelling out products to make a quick buck? Buying a camera body is no small feat. You're basically putting yourself into an ecosystem of that company. And stuff like lenses are really not that cheap. We're living in an age where there's just a lot of things, whether it's information, technology, media, and it's becoming increasingly harder to sift through it to find the gems. So it's really up to us to be intentional with the things that we buy so that these companies are forced to create revolutionary products. At the end of the day, 9 times out of 10, the things that you have right now is enough. And with that being said, I'm excited to announce the launch of my new tripod.